Blog Talk Radio.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Minions, and welcome to The Balance. You know what time it is. It is time to go through this crazy world of sports, and what a week it has been. My name is Tom Marquis, El Presidente, on loan for God. I will be driving this ship for the next 2 hours to guide you through this world we call sports. We're going to be talking with Matthew Embury, our official IndyCar contributor. I'm going to be talking with him about some IndyCar. I'm going to get caught up with him on that. Excuse me, my voice is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. So hopefully we can make it through the next 2 hours. But and then Steve Wilson from Speedway Digest joins us, going to get caught up on some NASCAR action. And then in the second hour, we're going to talk about something we don't talk about a lot here on The Balance, but because it is such big news this week, we're going to be talking some soccer. Sean Horton will join us and talk with us about some soccer, women's soccer. Go Team USA. We'll talk about that. We'll kind of get into the details of that game. And then, of course, we're going to round out the Week of Champions. Now, get a load of this. For the first time ever, Canada gets their first NBA championship with the Toronto Raptors over the Golden State Warriors. Is the dynasty dead? We will talk about that. Also, that's right, boys and girls, my St. Louis Blues, your St. Louis Blues, the St. Louis Blues gets their very first Stanley Cup in franchise history. Another fun stat about the Week of Champions, if you will. For the first time ever, there's been a Stanley Cup and an NHL and an NBA championship go to a Game 7 in the same week, and the winners be first-time winners. Just so you know. Now you know. Now you know. 917-889-8516 is my digits. We'll be right back. We're going to jump right into some IndyCar talk with Matthew Embury.
Tonight, I just want to take you away. Throw your hands up in the sky. Let's set this party alright. Players, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. Hit the toe so clear. Look out. Pop, it's showtime. Showtime.
The Air National Guard is a reserve component of the United States Air Force and serves alongside active-duty Air Force members in times of a national crisis. In addition, the Air Guard serves the state and local community in a wide range of capacities. The reason people join the Air Guard is as diverse as our members and includes such reasons as a deep desire to serve their country, money for college, travel, new job skills, and the pride that goes along with belonging to the greatest military organization in the world. I joined because I felt a calling to serve my country, but I didn't want to be far away from my family, so the Indiana Air National Guard was a perfect fit for me. With over 95 different career opportunities to choose from and 100% paid college tuition to any state-funded college, why not give us a call? Call 1-800-841-3103 or visit online at goang.com to find out more. Again, that's 1-800-841-3103. The Air National Guard, guarding America, defending freedom.
It's double trouble, double the fun. At African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. See the largest antelope on Earth, the giant eland, and the ugliest creature on Earth, the African warthog. There's so much to see and do, including the Midwest's only drive-through safari. Feed the animals. See live educational shows. Feel the excitement. Have your picture taken with a python or cockatoo. Feel the adventure. Shop the Simba Lodge gift shop with items available from around the globe. Visit the snack bar or picnic facilities. Enjoy a pony or camel ride. Or cheer your favorite porker on to victory in the famous Pork Chop Down. Bring your family to see the rare and exotic animals at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. Just take Route 2 to the Route 53 North exit and follow the sign. Only 17 miles west of Cedar Point via Route 6. Open every day, rain or shine.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to Geico.com and you could save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike, you know.
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your moves.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud. Roar.
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on Geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything.
All right, welcome back to the Balance. 917-889-8516 is our digits. It is Father's Day weekend. If you've got a father, well, we've all got a father, but if you have an opportunity to talk with your father, you know, give him a call, talk to him, thank him for bringing you into the world, because your mom probably wasn't in the mood anyway. Anyway, we move on. Matthew Embury, WSBT in South Bend, our official IndyCar contributor. Matthew, haven't talked with you in a couple weeks. How are you, sir?
The 24 Hours of Le Mans is just got underway, and we're only 2 laps in, and they're already going like it's the last lap already. Remember, this is a 24-hour race.
Mm-hmm.
The Toyotas have taken off as expected at the front, but the GT Pro it's been very tight from the start. So far, the pole sitter Nicky team with the Aston Martin has held the lead, but it is a mad rush of bees. You got Fords, Corvettes, Porsches, and Ferraris all streaming down his neck right now, even a BMW mixed in for good measure. So if you haven't gotten onto RadioLeMans.com on YouTube, you need to right now, because it's getting very interesting right now at Circuit del Sol.
Well, absolutely, and certainly we were going to talk about that race, so I'm glad you brought that up. So go ahead, let's break down. You know, a lot of people don't understand. Of course, you and I do, and I know, of course, there's the Rolex 24, which is the big one in Daytona every year. I try to watch that one every year. But I tell you what, there's something pretty awesome about a 24-hour race, and it really does go for 24 straight hours. Talk with us a little bit about the makeup, about that, why they have the 24-hour races, and, you know, why is it such a big deal?
Well, I mean, it used to be for endurance, but as you have seen the last few years, this has become a 24-hour sprint race. Guys are going full out. You have 3 driver teams, even in the pitch black at night where there's very little any light on the public road section of this circuit. They're still going full out. I mean, there are 6 sections on the track where the cars will hit at least 200 miles an hour, at least the LMP1s will. And you talk about nerve-wracking situations, and you got to be extremely careful. Now, granted, we haven't gotten to the traffic scenario yet, but trust me, once you start lapping cars with these speed differences, you could get treacherous, and we have seen some ugly accidents, including one where, unfortunately, Rob Kaufman sent the Audi of Mike Rockefeller for a loop into the barriers one year that got Rob Kaufman kicked out of the race. for the remainder of that event. I believe it was 2014 or 2013 when that happened. So you've got to mind your P's and Q's here. But at the same time, though, you can't really give anything up because, as we have seen, a guy can get a lead here and he can hold it. I mean, the Porsche got a big lead in GT Pro early stages of the race last year, an hour or two. He was able to hold that lead practically for the remaining 22 hours. So, again, you got to go full out. Now, granted, some of these cars aren't necessarily made to do that. You're going to see cars end up in the garage and having to make repairs because of that fact. But that is the way it rolls here, and you have to go full out, and that's what we're seeing. I think we're seeing some big numbers already being posted by Mike Conway. We're only 3 laps in. He just fired off a 3:19 lap time, which is only 4 seconds off his qualifying time, so it tells you they're going for it even with 23 hours and 50 minutes to go.
So how do they talk us a little bit about how they make the driver rotations, how they go about that? Do they put a strategy together that said, okay, you're going to be driving for this block of hours, you're going to be driving for this block of hours. We choose this driver to drive it. Now we choose this driver to drive. What's their strategy about the drivers they use and when they place them in the car for the 24-hour Le Mans?
Well, it's usually a 3 or 4 stint service thing, and what they try to do is they try to put the new driver that takes over on fresh tires. Now, granted, the rules are a little bit different than in Daytona. For those of you that are used to seeing Daytona and Sebring, where they can fuel the car and change tires at the same time, you must complete the fueling first before you do anything else. The only thing you can do while the car is being fueled is change drivers. So you will see teams just take fuel only to save that time that it takes to change tires because you're only allowed 2 air guns over the wall during tire changes. So with that fact in mind, trying to get the longevity out of these Michelin or Dunlop tires is very important because if you can save that tire change, that's about 20 seconds on pit stops that you're able to save, and that adds up as the race continues. So I think we're going to see a lot of triple stints. Like we said, we could see some quadruple stinting of drivers. But, again, trying to limit the time you lose on the pit lane, I think could make a world of difference as we get closer, especially if this race is close in any of the 4 divisions. Not just for overall. I think we could see a close battle in LMP2, GT Pro, GTEM. It's going to be tight, I think, all the way down the list, and I would not be surprised if it comes down to the last hour or so before we actually have a true decision on what might play out as far as a class victory or an overall win.
What do you think is the biggest? Is this the biggest 24-hour race, or would you say that Rolex 24-hour race is bigger, or is there a bigger 24-hour race than the 24-hour Le Mans?
This is the king of the hill right here. I think this is the equivalent of winning a Daytona 500 and Indy 500. Yes, Daytona has been around for a decent amount of time, but the rules are different, and you don't always get the full competition thing in there. I mean, you look at the record, and if you win Le Mans, that can jump-start a career and trumpet more than, say, a win at Daytona, Sebring, Petit Le Mans, Road Atlanta. It's not about – they look back at your record as far as sports car, as far as a team, and the question is, have you won at Le Mans or not? And some teams, like obviously Ganassi can say with the Ford program he's done that. Corvette could say they've done that. Porsche obviously could say they've done that. They won it more than anybody else. Audi, Bentley, I mean, all of them have won it. And Toyota finally won theirs last year. Now, granted, there were no other manufacturers there, which kind of made things easy for them, but still – it's a big deal when you win a race like this and you claim that, add that to your record as far as what you've done over the years.
Now, I know Elio Castroneves is in the sports car series now. Is he racing in this race this weekend?
Unfortunately, the DPI, they have yet to come to a compromise about the DPI. That car is not eligible to participate at Le Mans. Now, the LMP2 cars, the cars that run with that Gibson stock engine, like you said, I was in a separate class. Like there was like 2 or 3 of them. Those cars are eligible to compete in LMP2. Now, there's been some compromise saying, well, the DPI should be put since it's a different manufacturer, engine, et cetera, with the body kits, that those cars should be moved to LMP1. Well, unfortunately, ACO and the FIA, which runs the sanctioning body for 24 Hours Le Mans, has come up with this hypercar thing, which I guess is going to make a debut in 2021. And going by that scenario, it's going to be